to begin with, I would say that anyone, especially of my generation, we would never say we were from the Ironbound. We were from down neck. I believe the origin of that term, down neck, was because of the Passaic River by Penn Station that sort of curls around and looks like a neck. But of course, the Ironbound, the moniker, as I understand it, comes from the fact that there were a lot of, this area was very, very poor, and there were a lot of ink factories and forgeries and varnish factories, and also the railroad, of course. And you know, we were surrounded, either surrounded by iron, or we were dealing with iron in some sort of fashion. In a sense, you know, the Ironbound begins here, because everything east of Penn Station basically is the Ironbound. Since the station has been restored, this area, the waiting room, I'm sure you see, is stunning. And if you look around, the seals that are around the main part of the, around the information booth, almost all of them have to do with transportation. You know, the use of pressed aluminum, for instance, and it's the, you know, Art Deco movement. Without a doubt, Ferry Street is the main artery of the Ironbound, and it's along this street, which is also known as Portugal Avenue, that you see the enormous presence of now both Portuguese-speaking, whether Brazilian or Portuguese, and Spanish-speaking populations. As we walked down Ferry Street, though, we saw evidence, in fact, of prior waves of immigration, Polish, German, and right off of Ferry Street on Jefferson, when we saw the Portuguese church, Our Lady of Fatima, we also saw the parish center, which, as I pointed out, was a synagogue originally, because most of the merchants on Ferry Street, which was originally known as Plank Road, were German Jews. And so the amazing thing about walking down Ferry Street is that we see the variety, the waves of influences of various ethnic groups. And as I pointed out to you, there are many churches in the Ironbound, and when I was growing up, we identified churches not by their names, but by their ethnicity. There was the Irish church, there was the Spanish church, there was ultimately Our Lady of Fatima, the Portuguese church. And Ferry Street itself is quite fascinating in the sense that one can see literally the new emerging, what I would say upscale restaurants, next to very traditional restaurants, next to a fish market where the fish, you know, are flown in from Portugal on Thursday evenings. St. Stephen's Church, which is at a point which we affectionately call Five Corners, was originally a Dutch church, and it's a Lutheran church. Now it has services both in Portuguese and in Spanish, again reflecting the change in the neighborhood. Yes, it was blown up in Steven Spielberg's movie, War of the Worlds. A friend showed me that series of clips of Ferry Street being basically imploded, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was quite amazing. You know, the Payless shoe store, and especially St. Stephen's, which is an anchor, you know, in the community. The Portuguese Sport Club that we're coming up on was originally founded in 1921, but it's a major cultural force in the Portuguese community. Everything from sports to education. This is a place where mostly men come and to play games. See all the trophies and stuff they all have to do, usually with cards or sharpshooting or soccer or something. What I hope the Ironbound can be an example of is a place in Newark with a future, but also very well grounded in its values. This is definitely what I would describe as a tight-knit, working class community, and I'm enormously proud to be part of it.